start the recording. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's 7:20 here on the West Coast, and you got to hear that music twice. I got to hear it once, and I'm glad I heard it. And the mic is up hot. Yeah. Had a little trouble last night. I went to bed. I think I knocked out about 10 o'clock and woke up at 12:30 with everybody here. And then from 12:30 to 5, I didn't sleep. And finally about 5 o'clock, I nodded out. And woke up here at 7. And thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here. Let's see who we have. Dun, 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 dun. Good morning, Timmy. Good morning, Walleye King. Who's probably picking up his honey right now. Good morning to Susan. And good morning, Mysterioso Paul Collins. Good morning, Temporary Sue. Good morning, 42's in the house. Good morning, Red Wagon. Good morning, Eden. Good morning, Canuck. Good morning, Leg Girl 19, better known as Miss Montana. And good morning, Calmness 55. Good morning, Dub Diesel in the AZ. Good morning, Doc Rock 18. Good morning, Denise in the UK. And good morning, Brainstorm Morning. And Snarls. Yeah. Good morning. If I didn't call your name like Red Wagon, I don't even know if I called your name. Did I call your name? Did it? Wait. Yes, I did. There it is right there. Good morning. Yeah, this is how I wake up every morning. I've only been awake for about 8 minutes. Maybe 10 minutes because I did take a leak. So anyway, TMI. Pat, or what the hell's his name? What the hell's his name? Anyway, you owe me $1. $2. Yahoo! Good morning, everybody. Yeah, second sip of coffee here, and yeah. Anyway, how was your weekend? Anything, Patrick? I knew it started with a P. Yeah, it's like what was his name? Yeah, I start to forget when I get tired, just so you know. Yeah, I mean, how was your weekend? What'd y'all do? Did you do something special? And, you know, catch a fish, catch a cold, you know. Everybody's going to get out there and play that game today, right? What is it? $1.2 freaking billion. Yeah. I'm going to go drop a dime on that for sure. Yep. Stacked firewood, he says, Snarls. Stacked firewood. Oh, all right. Did they just dump your cord out there and you had to stack it yourself? What happened to the days when they would stack it for you? Yard work and moving my dad. Oh. Is your dad okay there, AZ? Yep. My dad's his wife has COVID. So pray for her. Her name's Kim. Pray for my dad too. I don't know that he's got COVID. He said he didn't last time I talked to him. So you cut it, you split it, you stack it. Oh, by my lonesome, he says. Oh, your dad bought a house. Did he buy a house near you, Dub? The story origin matched the Cavid Kid versus actual SpongeBob episode. Learn a new word. 5 miles away. Nice. It's good to have dad nearby. You know, I like having my dad, but his wife moved him a little bit further away, and yet now here I am moving yet further away than that, you know. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see what happens. If this stupid government doesn't start lowering the interest rate, I don't know that I'm going to get a house. I mean, seriously. I can't imagine what the price is right now, man. It's yeah. But we will approach them and say, hey, look, man, the interest rates have gone up so much. My payment was going to be this, now it's that. Help me out there, Slim. You don't have to, but help me out. Got to get them close. That's right. Oh, that's some good coffee. It's not. It's terrible. Even it's DQ. Well, we've had an M1 flare here in the, last 12 hours. I didn't even see it till right now. Right now. I'll say it right now. Let me see what time it was. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, man, shoot. Yesterday they had an M1. And today we've had an M1. And it just happened, at 12:30 hours right now. We're at 14. So, yeah, man. The time I was supposed to get up. 12:30, 14. That's about an hour and a half, right? Right, went one, and then, no, 3.5. Yeah, oof. I was still awake. Maybe that's what was going on. I was like thinking, oh, is it going to be an earthquake? What's keeping me up? Yep. KP index is only 2.33 right now. And, yeah. So, man, yeah, let me see where the hell that thing hit. It probably had to hit Africa somewhere or the mid-Atlantic. Yesterday I was doing some studying and learning about come on, brain ain't working, but the mouth is. How's that work? Yeah, it's proof that they're not connected. At least it's not my anus. I mean, your anus. Anyway, that's there for old Snarly. Yeah. Kalima camera one. What? Kalima's going off? What? No. What happened to Kalima? Oh, I know you love it, buddy. Trust me, they want to sell a house too. Yeah, you're right. Problem is that we've got such a deal on the damn thing, and it's a highfalutin neighborhood, and I mean, highfalutin for us, all right. Shoot, it ain't in the slum, and got a great view of a hill in the back, but yeah, they cost funds as much as lower than yours. They have wiggle room. Oh, I don't understand, Dub. Help me out there, Slim. The quakes in Mexico been odd. Jalisco area versus Colima. Worthy of my slide page. Side page. Is anything like a side chick? You got a side page on you. Look out! Your girlfriend's gonna get mad. You got a side page. Yeah, it's this weather change that we've got going on here. Now it's sunny today, and I think we're gonna get sunny for the next 2 weeks. High pressure is gonna come in, and El Nino was what I was studying last night. God bless America. I've got a couple little things to look up, and there's a dude that's on the internet, and he does the Surfer Report. I don't know how many of y'all seen the Surfer Report, dude. He's pretty bomb, man. I'm gonna tell you, he's pretty damn bomb. He went into pretty good. He went into how Enzo works, and because he wants the waves to kick up. It's called Storm Surf 001. And then the title of his thing here, and I know it's not what do you call it? I'm not promoting him or anything like that. Just I was watching him, and because he he knows his stuff, man. And here it comes. El Nino is in the building. Yeah. Or is building, he says. I say it's in the building. Oh my God. Anyway. Yeah, it's happening, baby. So probably the reason we had this little storm come through here on the West Coast this last a weekend, which it rained here on the weekend. Except for, right at the beginning of October. And there's a good chance that we might get some Santa Anas. Ain't happening yet, but normally we get them in September, and we didn't. And then if they don't get them then, we'll get them in October. Yeah. And I think we're about 6 weeks off kilter. So that little explosion down there, Hunga Tunga Happy Eye, yeah, it did a little something, change weather patterns. And no, it's not. Yeah. Pull your head out. The ground, that is, one thing, when you put your head in the sand, what happens the rest of you? It's all sticking up in the air. So if you don't want to get hit or kicked or taken advantage of, pull your head out. There's some things that people, I don't want to know what's going on. Sorry. Life don't work that way. You're going to know one way or another. So pull your head out. Engage in life. Yeah. I'll tell you. Yeah, engage. Come on, man. Get there in a 3-point stance and let's do it. It's football. Sorry. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, that I was watching that and learned a little bit of something, and we'll be talking a lot more about that. Also, he's predicting, or because of what happens when El Nino happens, Australia right now is going to go into there it went. Oh shit! It's a drive-by fruity. Jeez, God bless America. Where'd it go? I don't know. More coffee. Jeez. Oh, I tell you, man, it's like running on 3 cylinders when you have an 8-cylinder. What's going on? Hey. Anyway. Yeah, drought. Yeah, Australia is going to be running into a drought, and the down pressure in El Nino is happening, and the up pressure in El Nino is happening, and it's predicted to be pretty significant, or more than it is now. All right, so it's kind of like mediocre right now, just starting up, and so the down pressure should be going over the Indian Ocean. Right now, it's over the Indonesia, and it'll move west. And when it does, things will get all wiggy again. And over the international date line at the 180 line, it should move the high pressure, where all the storm, how storms are built, you need the heat and builds up, boom, all right. Yeah, that has to move east toward California. And once it does, then we'll be in a full-blown El Nino, and that's going to happen probably, it'll get stronger and stronger. We'll definitely be seeing signs November, December. And it's predicted that this spring will be a very wet spring for California and the Southwest. And it means more rain, more snow this winter in the high Sierras and the like. And that probably will translate up in the Colorado mountains too, the Rockies, which go all the way through in New Mexico and all the way up to Canada. But in the same retrospect, that would mean less snow for the north. And my buddy, he's a snowman. You know, he takes his big old scooper and his little big old pooper scooper, and yeah, instead of flicking it in the neighbor's yard, he'll be flicking the snow. And I don't know where the hell they put the damn stuff. There's so much snow. Oh yeah, we just fill these big dump trucks full. We go out to the edge of town and dump it. Where? When it's full down there? I mean, it's not like they can melt the stuff. I mean, it's never really made sense to me, but you know, that's why they call him Zuper. La Nina, lots of snow. No, yeah, La Nina for you, Miss Montana. That means a lot of snow. But when it's El Nino, it's drought up there. Yes, be prepared. Don't be scared. Got a 5.3 up in Tajikistan again. Well, shoot, that's the second time that's happened here. Tajikistan's starting to roll. Yeah, right on. Yeah, 5.3. 5.4 India. And Papua New Guinea, 4.5. So, in essence, we're in Bangladesh, where India got rock and rolled to 5.4 this morning. Here, I'm probably, let me turn that off and I'll show you. Without without plagiarizing what the guy was talking about. I'll try to do, a little bit of zoom. Anyway, so El Nino works kind of like this. Let me draw a line here. Wait, no, let's do the ocean first, eh? Hey, there's the ocean, eh? Then you have, right up here will be, let me go. There we go. Right here will be Australia. Then you got Vanuatu, and you got Fiji, eh? Then you got Hawaii, and then you got California, and it turns into South America, right? So we got North America way in the back, and then Alaska's like way down here. So somewhere in the line of 180, and I'm not sure where 180 is. Let me see where 180 is here. Go to GE. Well, they got a new GE and it's just throwing me off big time. Add, place mark polygon, tiles overlay. Tile overlay? I don't know. View, grid lines. There we go. All right, so 180. All right, where the hell's 180? Oh, there's 170. 180 is the main line right there. It's the International Day Line, right? So right now, everything's happening right over Papua New Guinea, right? And it's got to move that direction. It will move that direction. They've got the, two big names, which I can't name right now because my brain's still full. Waking itself up, getting up to speed. And the other part should be out here at about 80, okay? So basically what I'm trying to say is this. Let me draw it for you. All right. So the upwelling of an El Nino should be right around California. Right, this should be all upwelling when there's a full El Nino. The downwelling will be the other side of India, right? So this is a down and this is an up. Currently, it's right here. The down is somewhere out here, and this clouds come like this, and then they pump up like this. But that's not how far those ones are. These ones are like right here. So the up is coming here. The down is right here. So this is going to spread out, from what I understand, as El Nino progresses, as it becomes stronger. So the up pressure is somewhere around Papua New Guinea, Fiji area, and the downwelling is just the other side, or Indonesia right now. And when it's done, I misspoke right there. Yeah, when it's like right here, right now. Come here, baby. Come here. Hey, put that there. There we go. There we go. Right now, it's like Indonesia. And so what happens is the cold air, right, before it starts to rise, it starts to rise right here. Right now. That's where it's at now. It's a convection. Right? And there's convection. All right? And then convection. Right? So El Nino happens here. Now, there's another portion, here's the world, that when El Nino is happening here, there's another side that's happening here. They rotate around the planet, right? And you're gonna know all this as I give you. I'm just giving you a little thinking. This cycle, I'll play in just a minute so you can see what I'm saying. This cycle happens every, 4 to 6 months. The cycle happens, and it has to do with warm water coming out of the Orient over to Ecuador, down and below the surface, and then coming up in its own convection. And that being said, where the hell are we? That was a good question. Wonder if volcanic emissions affect as well, according to what this gentleman has said. And for those who are listening on YouTube, yeah, it's the surf report. The equatorial Pacific Ocean sea surface wind and water temperature anomaly. That's what I'm looking at. I wanted to share that with my group here. And it's that thing that we're looking at to see just how much the weather is changing, and does it play a role in earthquakes. Like today. Today is a kind of a little bit of a brisk day, and with no wind, and we would say that's earthquake weather here in California. However, it's gonna go warm because we have a warm thing coming in, and the rain has stopped. And he also mentioned the 4 to 6 week deal, and that's the transition there for the MJO and the Kelvin wave production. It's really the Kelvin wave production. What happens? The waters over there by the Orient get real hot, and then as the trade winds calm down, that water traverses through the currents eastward, and it doesn't really do it on the surface, but it drops down toward the depth and goes underwater, then pops right back up because it hits the other side, which is the Galapagos Islands over there by Ecuador. So that's what they call a Kelvin wave, when the trade winds have calmed down so much so that warm water can traverse the Pacific and come up on the other side. And then it warms up that side, and then another wave would come in, and boom, it would heat up more and more. So the cold water over on the equatorial side in Peru would calm down. It'd be cold, and then all of a sudden it would go warm. And over successive Kelvin waves, what he was saying is the water will get hotter and hotter and hotter. And as it does, warm water does what? It'll rise up, right? Create cloud cover, create storms, and we get an El Nino. And periodically, those storms and those cycles happen. So the active phase of the MJO and the inactive phase being high pressure and low pressure, or reversed, low pressure and high pressure on that, what I just said. I think it's interesting because, we talked a little bit about some of those things, and what Walleye B said before. And I think what he mentioned is he says it was due to the rifts emitting ionized magnetism to the surface and into the air. And I think he was seeing parts of it. And that's why, what he was always thinking was always intriguing to me. I pray that he got through this illness. He got real sick there for a minute. Interesting gentleman, to say the least. In learning these things, we some things overlap. Some things overlap in a concept, but not in the application. So, in looking at the way the water works and the way weather works, the rising heat creates clouds create reflection, and we get storms, versus the cold dropping and creates dry, no clouds, and we get drought. And like he was saying, it's somewhere over Indonesia right now, and somewhere over PNG right now, and that's got to spread out as the progression of it works. So that's what I was doing last night. So it and when I passed out after that, and then woke up. I mean, interesting. It's very interesting, yeah. But I'd like to see and discuss, could there be a possibility of atmospheric pressure? And this is why I thought it was super interesting. Atmospheric pressure upon the surface of the land or water that can contribute to the, how do I say it? The production of pressure making earthquakes. Not that they cause earthquakes, but can they contribute to them? And if so, is there a magnetic anomaly associated with it? If not a big deal. I'm just saying, how many factors? Because the whole big answer is, why do earthquakes happen? It's not that they do happen. Oh, when's the next one? No, because that's the immature idea. The more mature is, why are they happening? And what's creating them? Oh, it's just the plates crashing into each other. All right, what's moving the plates? Oh, the heat down below. All right, what's making that convection happen? Well, I don't know, spin of the earth. You see, that's why we don't stay in one level of or one genre of information, where we traverse the many genres of information out there, and I know it's the wrong word, but disciplines, so to speak, to ascertain what's going on in our planet. So we just watching earthquakes. You know what? Hey, dude, man. Here's the earthquakes in the last 24 hours. All right? And I'll show you that. Here are the earthquakes in the last 24 hours. Right? We see the overlap here. So if I just draw it down in here, right? There's one in Europe. Bosnia had a 4.5. Down in Chile, there was a 4.0. And over in Argentina, at Salta had a 4.4. Then up in Colombia, again, 4.4. Then, of course, over there in, Puerto Rico had a couple of little quakes, couple of 3.5s, a 2.6, and what have you. Then in Texas, 3.6 up here in what's like Utah. Yeah, Utah had a 2.5. And then off the coast, in the Blanco fracture zone, 4.7 off the coast. That happened on 10-1. Today's 10-2. Right? All right. Then this area started going off again. Right? So this one happened up here yesterday. And then this area, it was going off yesterday too. And they had a couple of pretty Portola and, Portola 4.1. Let me just go here, terrain here, close this. Rio Del rocked and roll here over the weekend. Fortuna did. They might say Eureka or Ferndale, up in these mountains right here, the Bear River Ridge. It was rock and rolling over the weekend. We had an earthquake out here, had an earthquake up in there. I'm gonna show you what those are. Boom, 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 boom. Bing. Here we go. So, yeah, up here, 3.2 on the 26th, but here's the big one, 4.7 to happen on September 30. Then just offshore, 4.2, and then 3.20, 2.1, and a 3.7. All that happened over the weekend. These were larger, and then they knocked them down. There were 2.5s here, and USGS has knocked them down. Partly because they don't just look at magnitude anymore. They look at the potential damage. They look at the shaking strength. They got different criterias. See, us who grew up with magnitudes, and all that, it's not that anymore. So the difficulty of saying, well, man, that's for sure was one of these. Yeah, so if I went to Ferndale, it's 4.2, and here's the moment tensor, right? That's a strike slip, clearly a strike slip, if you know what those are, right? And you see 4.2, 4.1, 4.2, or 1, right? So, and they took the body wave out of that, so I can't really determine because I don't watch those. But there's another one here. Let me see what they did here. Strike slip again, bang, 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 right? 920 people reported this. And in the origin, again, magnitudes, no body waves on this, 4.6, 4.7, 4.6. They got it at 4.7. It first came in like 5.1, and this one did too. And like, hey! So that's happening. And in context with what I was saying earlier, there just isn't a whole lot. These are all USGS from one day, 24 hours thereabouts. And you'll see a couple of smallies right here. These are super smallies, 2.3, 2.0, 1.1. But if I did 2.5 and above, you can see there's only been a few quakes here today. Also up here in Alaska, we're starting to pick up a few more up in this region right here. Normally the quakes go right up here through Denali, up into the north slope, Brooks Range, the other side of that. And we've had a couple of quakes up here in the Chukchi Sea, and the Bering Sea has had a couple of quakes over the last little bit of time. So the trend has usually been up through Denali, but starting to pick up some come off on the other side here. Here's the all days, right? You can see the trend, right? There's the trend of quakes, right? Now we've got one here, 3.2, just east of Anchorage. That's in the Valdez. Yeah. If you don't remember, 1964, that sucker happened right there. I know I'm doing a rabbit hole on that. Just bear with me. I gotta look this up. I don't know exactly. Search the catalog. Custom. It freaking thing was a 9. Custom, and it was 1964. 1964. I do not know the date. So I'm going to go 1. 964. Oh, and it won't. I won't have to worry about it. And use this one. It should pop up. Search. There it is. 9.2. All right. So, in looking at the quakes, here's Valdez, right? That 9.2 happened right there, 1964. Largest quake we've had here on the West Coast in 200 years. Yeah, the 1700 quake was supposed to be bigger. I don't know that it was. But hey, they think they know. I'm going with that Mr. Outwater, So, today's earthquakes, we're seeing right up in here, right? A couple more in this region. And it alarms me to what's happening here. Now, if I did a search, we'd probably see a whole bunch of different quakes. All the way down here. Icy Bay in it. You cut that. There's the collapse here made the largest tsunami in the bay, because the whole mountainside fell in. And I don't remember the year of that. Canuck would know the year of that. He's got a mind like an iron trap, like a bear trap. And but anyway, so we see more activity up here, and that's kind of what I'm watching. Just because I'm aware this is the area that hasn't popped in a long damn time. Also, the Fairweather Fault, right? It can produce 8s, and it's been awfully damn quiet. We've had a couple little quakes here off of this island right here, Haida Gwaii. We had those, 2 quakes, 2 5s down here, and really nothing happened. A month or a week later, that's when these things started to pop off down here. And nothing's happening the way that we would think. Okay. And that's okay. On the whole eastern side of the Pacific Plate, which I say the eastern, but they say the western. Hey, it's the western, because it's east of me, man. I'm on the Pacific Plate. Yeah. Down here in Fiji and Tonga, 4.4, 4.6, and a 4.5. All pretty deep. 549, 593, 500. All happening super stinking deep. Not producing not producing tsunamis because it's too deep. But those are pretty significant quakes. If you've been in a 5 versus a 4, you'd know the damn difference. Now over here in PNG, this is an area that, okay, you're gonna ring now? All right, shut up. Are you still there? Yeah, you're still there. All right. So, yeah, nothing major, so we can go back to it. So here in PNG, a 5.1. We had a 6.1 over the weekend, and a 4.5, and then at that junction, triple junction here, Bandit Sea, had a 5. This is a triple junction here too, by the way. The Seram Sea, right? There's 2 triple junctions right here. That suggests some things are happening. Then we have up here in the Philippines, 4.6. So it's 4.6 power all the way from Fiji all the way through. And if you take 3 of them and you can average that almost up to 4.5, 4.6, and 4.4, 4.5. 4.5 power has moved. They were deep. Looking up the shallow end of those, all of those at 4.5 being at 500 depth, we're looking up to a 5.5 shallow. That's the power that's moving through. That's the energy that's moving out away from Fiji. And as it does, it traverses the plate boundaries and the magnetic lineaments. And you can see boom, 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 boom. And there's like an empty zone out there, right? So this one here in the Philippines was a 4.6. Then we have 5.4 here. And we have 5.3 here. Like I said, 5.5 coming out, 4.5 coming out of here. Shallow would be 5.5. Moving through 4.6, 5.4, 5.3. The landmass will absorb some of that, pressure or the power that's moving through. That would be suggesting that something up here in Europe or Northern Europe or, Sweden, or even up here in the Arctic, Jan Mayen, right up in here, or Svalbard, and then over the next week should have somewhere around a 4.5, maybe 4.4. Should see that. I'd see probably maybe Poland popping one off if it stayed south, and then it would hit Iceland. Either that or it decides to stay out of the Kazakhstan and move down the path through Iran into Turkey. So all the stands, and then send it over there to the women, and which is the Georgia and Azerbaijan. These are names, are more feminine names, like Iran. That's a feminine name. And Turkey, it's, we eat turkeys, right? Yeah. And then we got a little bump here in Bosnia-Herzegovina, 4.5. That may have been the power that translated over here. It just didn't set in. But from 5.5 to 4.5, and that's 5.3 to 4.5, right? That's a drop of a 0.8. So there's a 0.8 added to this region for something else to happen. And it absorbed it. And it's kind of like, I think it's taking its vitamins, is ready to pop another one. Little, pull my finger. Anyway, also out here in Mid-Atlantic Ridge, over the weekend it was popping. Did you see it? Yeah, many people were talking about it. There it was. 5.2, USG has it. And then just north of it, 4.7. And just south of it, the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, 4.9. And then, of course, the Sandwich Islands banged away from the weekend on. I thought, there it is. There's another one down here. The Marquardt had a 5.8, very strong quake. So the two strongest was there, and Vanuatu, which is the 6.1. Very, very, very strong quakes. And Alaska has yet to respond to that same level. Somewhere near a 6. Haven't seen it yet. Now, does that mean it's going to happen? Could be Canada. Does it? Somewhere up in this region. If that line holds true. Man, you got to think. Here's a 5.8 and here's the 6.1. Well, what would it be then? Well, it's going to go a lot longer. So it might be a 5.3. Right? Instead of a, 5.8. Or it could be up to the 6.1. Somewhere between a 5 and a 6, somewhere up in this region. Should go over the next, when's the last one? 929, and this one was 928. So we still have about 4 more days for something to happen up here. It takes time for that pressure to move around or stay on there. Or it got sidetracked. Like right now, it's peeking out over these Zuzu Islands again. If you haven't noticed, like over the past, month or so, these Zuzu's been banging. We've had a couple little quakes on the island of Japan. Not the northern, but the central island of Japan. And you can see all those yellow marks. Bing, bing, bing. The Guam area and the Marianas, they've been having a few. What's been real quiet, though, has been Taiwan. So there's only been the one quake here in the last 7 days. And you'll see that the whole region from the Philippines to the Timor have been just busy as all get up. That's right. We have it inside here. We have 2 volcanoes, Ibu and Dukono, both popping away. Bing, 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 bing. Yep, just popping away. And they're not like super explosive, but they're doing their thing. Now, at the same time, we did have a pretty good explosion out of Alaska, right up in this region of a volcano. It's not over here, so I don't really count it. But hey, but the pressure moving through the Malacca Sea definitely is a sign that there's something happening. Look, you got to turn this one this way, you got to turn this one, you got to push that one that way, then you got to push this one that way, and this one that way. And then you got to say, whew, what's happening? Yeah, and the earthquakes, they're talking about what's happening. They're not the end result, because they're telling you what's a process that's going on. And you can see also Java popping away at a 5.3 over the last week, and 5.4 up the north of Sumatra. This one kind of spooked me a bit, because the last big monster out here happened right here on this island, or right, yeah, on in Sumatra here, Banda Aceh, the bad one. And I spoke to that, and everybody knows when that happened. And it's not every day you dream the damn thing. You know, I dreamt it. Why? Because so many people lost their lives. And I should have been praying, and I didn't, because all I was worried about was my own family going, well, I know there's one happening. I don't know where it's going to happen. And I was just praying that. Now, you know, I hold no guilt. So now I when I see something like that, I pray. And yeah, so it's we're gonna be very keen to watch what's happening out here when we see a lot of activity happen. Now up here in India, you know, Bangladesh, just north of that, right there, today we've had a 5.4. So we went back to all the way today, and you'll see 5.4 then up in here in Tajikistan of 5.3. Now, again, if you're watching the trends, boom, 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 right? My favorite song, chick, 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 boom. Yeah, baby. Anyway, so we just had a 4.8 off the Isuzu Islands, Japan, right? The last one was this one, and then this one. Pressure moving out in waves. Like if you do a little, like a half circle wave, half circle wave, half circle wave, half circle wave, right? It seems to move when things happen here in Japan. Boy, Tajikistan gets hit. It's pretty quick. It's like it follows this line, goes straight across China, straight across the Himalayas, and up there. Pretty quick. And vice versa. It's almost like there's a pathway to success. Yeah, let's check it out. Well, let's see what they have to say here. Here's Japan. There's Tajikistan up here. And there is this strike slip at the Himalayas. So, you know, goes through the Yangtze around the back, bing, and then right up into here to Persia, Tibet, Burma. Yep. So hey, maybe that's where it goes. I don't know how it does it, but it seems that everything that Japan does, it rock and rolls there. Almost the same time it goes down here. So the traversing the vibrations of this quake that happens, let's say here, to come down the train all the way around, get through this whole mess, and start to come up this side, it's quicker to here than it is down here. And I don't know that it's all that much closer, but it's got all these little messes to work through. So it's interesting to watch the seismos, you know, like we're watching here. Yeah. On this is on deck, and they're a very nice group of people. I'm going to close that so you don't get in trouble there. So if you see anything, forgive me. I turned it off as soon as I noticed it. So in deck is, you know, dynamic earth community. Very good. I like them. I like having that resource. There's another resource out there. Carl Sims has a pretty good one as well. And our boy Scooby-Doo's made it in the house. Our boy Canuck right there. Yakutak was 1899. Thank you. And the Bay, Ituya Bay was 1958. Thank you, bud. 1959 at a big Kamchatka. And the Chili Quake was 9.5. A bog quake triangles over 3 years, 1959 to 64, Alaska. Yeah. Thank you, Canuck. You know. Yeah, I know it's not PNG, it's West Papua. Yeah, it's all Papua to me, man. Papua New Guinea. I know. I know it's Indonesia. Thank you, Sue. It's a separate country. Thank you for correcting me. Anyway, so for me, the Indonesian side of Papua, as I go back to where I was talking about down here, where these two triple junctions are, there might be a third right up in here. When this island area kind of goes bonkos, I see a bad juju when it goes up this way. And it's hit twice. It was 7.6 what last year right there. And then this has just been quiet, like nothing's happening. But this is a major danger area. Major danger right there in this region. Because in 16 years, they had countless 8s and 7s and a myriad of 6s. This area gets rocked. And then it shut off in 2016, and we've had only one quake. It was a 7 in that region since 2016. But from 2020 all the way to 2016, I think there were like 25 of them. One happened in about every 8 months. And then it turned off. What happened? I don't know. Something's going on, son. But anyway, I digress. So I'm watching these areas and the different effects. Now, back to the Enzo and the Kelvin wave and the Walker circulation. Right now, it's like over PNG, and the other side is over Indonesia. It's got to move out this way to the Rift. And it's got to move out this way, out here to Hawaii at 180. And that's kind of what we're looking at, where 180 is. There's the 180, there's Hawaii. So when here the uplift of the Enzo comes about right here all the way over to California. This is the size of it, right? And then over here, it's the same, the down pressure that will end up going through this side will bring a dryness to Australia, and Australia will enter a more of a drought situation. So, you know, and they've already felt it. I think, if I'm not miscorrect or incorrect, Temporary Sue said they didn't have a terribly wet winter, and yeah, crap always happens on Papua. Yeah. So, I mean, it's interesting to see another event. Personally, I think what's going on weather is another sign what's happening in the earth. Whether in the system of the earth, it is part of the system. Weather is like earthquakes are part of the system. Volcanoes, another part of the system. Tsunamis are an effect of what's going on, a lesser effect. Effect. What the effect is? What's affecting all these? This is the the $1 million question. Well, today it'd be what, due to inflation. The $1 trillion question is what is affecting our planet to make all those things happen. And some part of it is the solar, some part is the storms, the Enzo and the Walker circulation, and the Kelvin wave and all that stuff, and the earthquakes and volcanoes, and the melting of the ice caps and the freezing of the ice caps and the flow of fresh water from one area to another, and the tilt of the earth, and I wonder. Okay, it won't tilt for me. Tilt for me, baby. There it is. There we go. It's at a 22-degree tilt. Right? As we fly through space at 22 degrees. Yum. Again, he was talking about cloud coverage here in the west, or east. Of the context is the Pacific, so it's in the east. Also, in the central part here. Cloud cover means more storms. More storms means the Pacific southwest of North America gets rain. Yeah, and flooding. And you saw what was happening in freaking New York. New York City. Yeah, New York. They had a ton of flood, man. What was going on there? Oh, yeah, that was that little tropical depression, that Ophelia or whatever it was that moved through. Dumped a ton of water. Yes, sir. Dumped a ton of water. And be prepared for more of that with El Nino. That's right. It's the southern portion of the United States that gets a ton of rain. And so, if you live on a hill, be happy. If you live in a valley, time to move. Yeah. You look at all at once. Yeah. Look out. Oh, now I'm drinking the coffee. It's warm. I mean, it's cooled. Anyway. Waitress, maitre d' or whatever. Need another cup of coffee. Anyway. So, watching the trend. Yeah, I have no idea what angle that is, but to me, that's the main one. Even look here. See, look. Right? I can't even draw. It's not a straight line, but it's a trend. I mean, it's not like it went up that way, okay, or down this way. It went from there. They're all connected. That's the trend. Still looking to see something here in the Labrador Sea, Baffin Bay, Iceland, Greenland, Jan Mayen, or even Svalbard. Something to happen. Even the Rick James. Over the weekend, Rick James was near Reykjavik here, was banging. I mean, it wasn't like hurting anybody. It just it was banging away. So it's a trend. That's all it is. The fall tilt. Yeah. Anyway, and how I see it, if you drew a line here, you know, you got Europe, and you got come down here, then you got Africa, right? And you got all down the Orient, all right? And I think it actually comes up this way, and in India, then the Orient, right? You got the Med. There's Italy there. And you got this little island here, Greenland. You got the United States, right? Down to Florida, Mexico, South America, down here. The whole thing I'm trying to say is there's a line that traverses the planet like that. And sometimes we see it more. There's a certain angle to it. And it can go off one side or the other. It appears on the trend lines to be, you know, 1,000 miles. And my belief is it's doing this. Like a sine wave. Oh, see, I can't draw very well there. Anyway, like a sine wave. And when this one is going off, it vibrates at a specific frequency. And that's as many times as how fast it's going, how much energy is in there, that it can affect this one. Let's call it right there. And if it's affecting this one, then there's another frequency that can affect this one. And so on and so forth. And it's kind of like the strings on a guitar, right? La guitarra. And then it goes around the planet. So if the world, which is, well, draw a better circle, right? So if these things are going like this, right? It's almost like they're actually going around the planet, right? What do we know that's going around the darn planet? Right? And if we see that 22 degrees, right? And then there's the straight up and down, the zero, right? Then there's the wobble. I don't know if the wobble's right there or right there. But we can see that these things are going in circles. Then there's parts of our atmosphere, right, that, you know, we have a circle around the atmosphere of one level being something, circle around our atmosphere being another, circle around our atmosphere being another, and then circle around our atmosphere being another. All these things together is what we're looking at. It's not any one discipline. And that's what we're saying. Well, we're seeing evidence of things. Watching the trend line, it's almost that you can forecast, let's say, a quake anywhere from 72 hours to, you know, a week out, depending on which algorithm that the USGS is using. You know, in determining where these quakes are happening and the strength. So I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy, and we talk about wackadoodle Wednesdays or, rabbit hole times. And we try to discuss all these things at greater depth. And we throw out ideas, and some stick, some don't. But needless to say, that's kind of what's going on. And we're watching these things over the weekend, and this guy, he was pretty good. This is Kalima. We're watching Kalima. This is the M1 that we just had here about 4 hours ago. 12:30. Here we are at 1500. And here's the absorption. You'll see where it hit. You got the landscapers coming through. So boom. 9, 10. Well, guess they stopped it for some reason here. What the heck was that? There's 12. There it was. Did you see it jump like I did? Yeah. Anyway, so just off here, the mid-Atlantic, the backside of Alaska here. No, Alaska. Africa. It's with an A, man. Anyway, so it got zapped up there. Yeah. And as they move closer, we'll take a break right now. So the M1 happened. The wind right now is 356. Density is at 2.97 cubic meters. This is the what's going on. In fact, the unusual sun's northern and southern hemisphere is to be outstretched. Right. We'll talk a little bit about that. This is the satellite that's going through there. No significant coronal hole. KP index is 2.3. As I compete with it. Landscape boy. Anyway, let me pause this and we'll get right back to it. Just a few minutes here. Bear with me while they're out there. Probably about 5 minutes and we'll take a good break. It's 8:34 here on the West Coast. I've been yammering for about an hour, so hang in there. Don't get none on you, and I'll be right back. Yeah, good morning again. Back after the break. And I've learned that these landscapers aren't going to leave out in front of my place, so I just closed the window. And hopefully, we spent about 5 minutes wondering. Anyway. Yeah, so let's go ahead and look. We've looked at some earthquakes already. We looked at some solar weather right now. We've looked at Earth's weather, kind of, sort of. We can look at the COD right now real quick. In the west here, we've got some weather. On the east, and there's no weather. How did that happen? It's going to dry out up there, baby. Don't worry. Yeah. And my brother Canuck right there. In that little place, he's right about right there, right close to that line. And yeah, he's gonna get a couple more days of nice weather, and then the stuff will come in. Hopefully, he gets those panels up, or when its siding is up. He's been working his little butt off, man. I'll tell you. I mean, he's got what 14 feet by 25 feet. Putting these boards up, cutting them and putting them in, and cutting them and putting them in, and nailing them by hand. He don't have a nail gun. He's got to go 2.5 inches on his nails, and he's got to put them all the way in there through another 1.5 inch of foam, and then another 2 inches of wood, and into the stud. So yeah, he's in. Then there's what 1/2 inch, 3/8 of the siding and all. The siding is just to make it pretty and to keep the rain out. And he's doing a good job. It looks really, really, really good. 8 pieces of siding left to put on. Right on, bud. Damn. You're working it. I like it. And then he's got to paint it. Yeah, he'll have 3 or 4 days to paint. Because you got really good weather, buddy. And remember, you got that thing all the way to the top. Might as well paint up top and then work your way down. I don't know if you got a sprayer or if you got to roll it, but a sprayer works better and a lot faster. You know, and but anyway, he's been working his butt off over there, and you know, everybody who's been asking about him, yeah, he's doing well, and he's right there to tell you he's doing well. He's drinking his Tim Hortons K-Cups in the morning with his breakfast. Lately, he can be putting mint coffee creamer into it. It's good stuff, he says. Yeah, I can't handle the sugar for some damn reason. I just had a couple of Almond Joys, though. Woohoo! Zing, zing, zing! Yeah, but anyway, so let's look at what we have on the hurricane section. We got some sort of disturbance down here. 90% chance turning into a cyclone here in the southern Pacific, eastern Pacific. Yep, and what about the Atlantic? Yeah, we got Felipe. Hey, Felipe just never went away, did it? I mean, what? 50 miles an hour is starting to hit, the Leeward Islands there, I guess. It's hitting, just south of the Virgin Islands, Barbudas or Barbados. I don't know what the hell you call it. What the hell do they call them? Let's look at USGS, what they call them. Yeah, I don't even know what they call them damn things. These islands right out here. Everything's like Antigua, Barbuda, right? Yeah, see, Barbuda. That's what I was saying. It's hitting that out here, and you can see, you know, not too fun for them. It's coming right up on them. Right here through Martinique, Dominica, Guadeloupe, France owns all those since the olden days. Since the sugar trade and slave trades, you know, that's right. Was it the U.S. doing it? Oh my God! Yeah, you have to. Montserrat is right there. That's the U.K. and the Netherlands. Hey, the Netherlands got something up in here too, and the U.K. is up British Virgin Islands and U.S. Virgin Islands out there, and so all of these little islands right now, they're in for a little tropical storm. The damn thing's moving so slow, it's gonna drop a lot of rain. So, hey, be careful. Look at that, man. It just hasn't. It just hasn't. It's moving west northwest now at 7. I mean, probably another week it'll be up here, right? This is one that went over New York and everybody over the weekend. It just dumped a ton of water. It came up the coast and went out. Yeah, and it dropped a bunch. So there you have it there. And in the COD, you can see it way off here. If we push the go button there and put it at 200 and we did the upper levels, you see all the dry air. That's what's killed this darn thing, which is really good, right? All that dry air. Here's the moisture that came through my place. It's going all the way up to Montana. Yeah, as it dips down and goes on the way up. The dry air coming in on the bottom now. Over the central part of the U.S., we have New Mexico. Pretty good storms in through northern Texas and Oklahoma into Kansas. And I suppose that'll go all the way up into Iowa and then on up into Michigan and up that way. It might hit Illinois, I'm not sure, in Missouri. But you see these little crazy things, how they just start like there's some, look at that back pressure right there. Did you see that? I mean, come on. Let's check it out real close over Kansas here. We'll check this area right here. These things are moving on up. Let me see. There was some like high clouds versus low clouds, you know. Let me look at the region again. Right here in the middle. Watch all these things. all of a sudden another wave will just come right through back the other way. There it is. There's one. And it's almost like something is wiping out these storms. It's like, what is right here that when the storm hits it, it like, well, watch that line. Right there. I don't know if you can see what I'm seeing. It just, let me look at lower level. See, see, it's like these things are going that way, and all of a sudden something's coming back the other way, and it's just kicking its butt. Now, I'm not complaining, mind you. I'm just saying it's kicking its butt. And you can see all these waves. See these waves? Look at these ribs. Wow. These are the low-level clouds, and then the upper, we just watch the uppers. Far out, man. One of those things that you watch is like, what is going on? Yeah, well, all the dry is all this orange and moisture, You got a cold front that's zipping up north. I cut the last pieces this morning. My buddy is coming to help me rest tomorrow after he gets done work this afternoon. Nice. Well, you've been working your butt off there, buddy. I appreciate you. You should, because it's your house. Crazy. Anyway, the weather's been wiggy, man. When we look up here global, look on the west, what do we see out here? This little low pressure is coming away from the east coast. It dumped a ton of water. West coast has something coming down right now, hitting Washington and Oregon, pushing down south, and maybe we'll get something in a day or two, but a lot of dry weather. That's the low level. Upper levels, see how the trough goes way down. That's stopping the monsoons in Arizona. But here's there it is, this big one. Pushing it right in there. Well, anyway, good stuff. So Felipe is still just hanging out. In the Central Pacific, I don't see anything here. However, I was brought to mind what was going off in right out here. Right out here, there's a tropical something or other. And 80%, well, I don't know what the hell it is. Koinu. Right off of Taipei here. I don't know the direction it's going, though. Zombie tropical, right? Yeah, he got a little fentanyl, too. Hopefully it'll croak. Damn things. Perceived temperature, very warm. Precipitation, strong. Look at that. Yeah. Radar. All right. How about wind speed? Pretty good. And that's at 10 meters above ground. Let's go 1500. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is at least a Cat 2. This is a Cat 2 storm out of here. Alrighty then. I saw that last night. I was like, hey, what's going on here? We also got some big pressure coming up. Watching what's going on. Yeah. Springtime here in Australia, as we turn into fall up here. Big high pressure out here. moving through. Yeah. So we might have some warm weather. What did somebody say? Less than 90 days to Christmas? I was like, what? Yeah. Said the C word, right? Yeah. I'm not seeing a whole lot there. Popo still saying hello. Hello. Yeah. Let's look at the tremors, sorry. Not the tsunamis, the tremors. Not a whole lot of tremors as of yesterday, but still just here in the Klamath Valley or in the Klamath Mountains, National Forest. Not a whole lot. And all the earthquakes are happening right down here. Related? I don't think so. All right, so let's go ahead and what Yellowstone is telling us. Not a lot. There was something, but not a lot. You can see, a couple of these are saying something happened right in here. So that was the Utah quake, I bet you, that we talked about earlier. Let's see. The buoys. We have any drunk Chinamen out there? Ding, 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 ding. No, I don't see any. The reason these are here is because of the Enzo. Yeah. El Nino oscillation, the Walker circulation. Yeah, that's why these are all here. And they have them over here too, but they don't seem to be talking to us. Yeah. And they look at these buoys, by the way, and that's how they project. I don't see anything happening. Yeah, there's the hurricane going north. Those guys who are out there off Cape Hatteras, catching them tunas, they haven't had a good time of it. Because these storms are out there and they're kicking up massive waves. So these little boats, man, these, oh my gosh. Yeah, they didn't have a fun time of it off George's Bank. And, Cape Hatteras and Blake Ridge, the plateau. Yeah. Well, supposedly, the more storms, the better fishing, but they ain't having a fun time in their boats with the size of the waves that have been out there. Gee. Let's see. Just for old, what the hell? Yeah. There you are. You want to find your anus today? There you go. There you go, big boy. The other side of Jupiter still. Yeah, you got to get the big gaseous one out of the way. And everything's still on that side. Mercury's finally made it to the other side with Mars. Venus is on its way. Power outages here in the west. Nothing. All good. Let's check out the volcano news. In the news today, volcano-wise. And Popo. October 2nd, Fuego, Klucheskoi, Popo, Simiuru, Tucono, Reventador, Sangay, and Urbinas. Ubinas, sorry. I always put an R in there. Urbinas. Popo popping at 22,000 feet. As you can tell, the wind is just, it's blowing, Yeah, watch. See, there's a good one right there. The gaseous ashes. Then, yeah. Then it's all white smoke after that. Even the wife does it. Pull my finger. See. Tsunosejima popping 5,000 feet. Here's the island of Japan, the southern island of Japan, and they got like 5 or 6 islands out here. Boom, right there. Boom. Reventador in Ecuador, 19,000. Reventador's like, I want to say it's shorter. It's like 12, 11. Yeah, 11.6. That's pretty good for a Reventador. All right. Dacono, 7,000 again. 7,000 and 9,000, generally that and Ibu popping off each other. Fuego, sporadic emissions. Fuego's kind of going calm. Yeah. It's been weird lately. Probably the last 2 months. See, it used to go about every 20 minutes. It'd pop off a 15,000 foot pop out of a 12,000 foot 3 mountain. So it just poof. But because of the weather, it's not doing as consistent. And that's, there in Guatemala, just south of Mexico. Sebancaya volcano down the armpit of South America, 26,000. Again, it's a 19,000 and change, like 19.6, 19.8, going to 26. Generally, just the puff emissions means there's not a whole lot of wind or storms pushing through, so nothing to shear it off. Urbanus, which is right down there next to Sebancaya, 21,000. It's an 18,000 foot mountain, so that area is active. Great picture of Kluchevskoy volcano in Kamchatka. We'll do like this, right? We'll go like that. You want to know where it is? I want to know where it is. How about you? Now there we go like this. And then do a search. Go, yep. Oh, God bless America. Go up there and find it for me, will you? There we go. Wow, is it moving quick? Oh my God. Kluchevskoye Sopka is a stratovolcano, the highest mountain in Siberia, and the highest active volcano in Eurasia. Its steep, symmetrical cone towers about 100 kilometers from the Bering Sea. The volcano was part of the natural volcanoes of Kamchatka, UNESCO World Heritage Site. Kluchevskoye appeared 7,000 years ago. Yeah, there you go. 15,597 in the feet. All right. Yeah. So, come on, man. Go push north. There you go. So, Kluchevskoye right here is the other volcano that we always talk about. That just blew its dome. That dome had exploded. And, yeah. And Kluchevskaya Sopka, better known as Kluchevskoye. That's the thing. They always got two names, And, yeah. So this one's popping. This one blew its top. It's growing a new dome, a little pimple on it. And I think when it popped, it did like 45,000 feet. Boom, boom, right? Yeah. Danger, Will Robinson, danger. Yeah. So you can see the magma coming down the face. Pretty picture at night. See if I can blow it up here. Well, not really. It's a 15,800 foot mountain. And, yeah. Strombolian activity continues. Whoa, check it out. Bing, 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 bing. Yeah. It's making a mess. Making a mess of itself. Simiru volcano over there in Java. 17,000. Now that's a 5,000 foot pop. And if we go down here, Simiru is right in here. Right there, Simiru. And it's a 12,000 foot mountain going to 17? Yeah. Eruption, see, 17. A little stronger. Villarica, central Chile, intense ash emissions. It doesn't look so intense to me, but it's been going all weekend long. Villarica is like down in here on South America. and off of Chile, central Chile. Maybe, yeah, Villarica. Yeah, Villarica. Villarica. There it is. Yeah, Concepcion. Down here. So this one is popping its top right now. I don't know that there's any real big cities around. Villarica is one of the Chile's most active volcanoes, rising above the lake town of the same name, 750 kilometers south of Santiago. It is also known as the Ricapian or Mapuche word meaning Great Spirit's house or the demon's house. Why does every demon got to be every good spirit got to be a demon? Hey, whatever. 9,300 foot mountain down there, Villarica. There's Valdivia. Valdivia also has its own volcano. Right down here, that was popping here. What earlier in the year was it? This one, Vulcan Mocha, Ghostbuster. Yeah, I can't read it. My glasses aren't here yet. And yeah, anyway, so it's doing its thing. Popo, 20,000. It's not a whole big deal there. Sangay, volcano in Ecuador. Emissions and ash lava flow out of Sangay. Check that out, man. Yeah. Right down the freaking gut there, man. Sangay is up here in Ecuador. All right, so we have Reventadores right there. All right. Sangay is down here. Here's Sangay. I was hoping to have a better picture for you from the satellite, because as you can see, it's like a whole big hole in the side of the mountain. It's like it's slid out. See, this is all normal and that's normal, but this is a part where it's all draining out. It's almost like it melted all this stuff in the middle. And let me see if we can get a picture of it. Yeah, see how you can see that right there. You know, see how it's like all this is here and it just like, maybe this is just like a whole layer cake of soft ash or whatever, and it just like eat itself away. Yeah. There's the whole valley of it, right down the gut. Pictures of the volcano doing this thing. There's the gut. So that's the part where the lava's flowing down. So, yeah. I guess the gut going that way. Far out, man. Fuego, possibly, but can't see anything. Reventador, again, 14.5. Not a whole lot there. Tucono, 7,000. Tucono's right here. Ibu's right there. I do have a picture of both of them together. I don't know if they'll show it on this. You know, as we go back into history. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Gotta go way back. No, they don't have it. Make sure they don't put something on there that offends anybody. Images. Ibu. Because there is an image where they're both popping and you can see them both. It's a trip, man. You're flying a plane and it's like, hey, wait a minute. You know? It ain't just this one, it's that one too. You know? Like, hey. as a quick scan through. Not seeing it. Yeah, unfortunately. I'll find that pic. I took the copy of it. I thought it was far out. Somebody's flying in a plane. You can see both the damn things going off. Was it Forbes? No, it wasn't Forbes. But anyway, it is what it is. It's interesting how the Malacca Sea is right between them, and and you're not between the two mountains, but to the left of the mountains here, and a lot of earthquakes move through. Also on this northern island of Halmahera, we get a lot of earthquakes, like right about here, just off the northern island of this Halmahera there. And let's see here. Ubinas, a pulse. He's got a. I'm going to leave that alone. Simiru volcano again, 17,000 out of a 12. A 5,000 foot popper. Sabancaya to 24 out of a 19 and change, and that's pretty much it. Over the weekend, let's see if there's anything big that happened. Suno Zajima did 6. It's 17 out of Simiru. Luatolo 7,000. Yeah, 7,000. Mayon still erupting there on the Philippines. Popo went to 19.5. 7,000 out of Ticono. Simiru 17. Reventador. And that's all they're going to show me. So I guess it's just a slow time, volcanic wise and earthquake wise. And yeah. Well, you know, it's 9:21 here on the West Coast, and yeah, I'm gonna take my baby to work. As we look one more time at Popo, and you know, enjoy your day. Don't get none on you, and have a plan for crises here. The moon landings. Yeah, I heard that Japan has won the award for NASA to go back to the moon in a collaborative effort. So they're going to spread the wealth on that. And so Japan and NASA are going to work together. Probably, I think in 24 land on the moon somewhere. Also, I heard that they may have picked up some paraphernalia from us there. So, for those people who said, you know, they didn't land on the moon, well, we'll see. We'll see here. And, yeah, I know that. I think the Chinese crashed on the moon, or was it Mars? One of the two. It didn't do too well. Whoops. And yeah. So anyway, stay tuned. Like I said, I've got to take the baby to work. I'll be back here about 40 minutes. And we'll go over the news over the weekend and continue this. Big hugs, y'all. And, you know, remember, don't get none on you. Love you. Hang on. Hang on. I'll put this video up there on YouTube just to, in case you missed anything.